Hello, welcome back. Here we have stage 5 of the tour of Watopia. It's a few weeks old, but it's a pretty decent video. It's I enjoy these mass start races. We're covering the Wasted 8. So this is going to take us through Jarvis. I think it's the clockwise direction and out through Tempest Fugit and coming back to downtown for a finish at downtown. And now, my intention for this ride is just to simply win. I want to win the group ride. And with these mass start races, you really don't know what you're getting. It could be a simple, kind of zone 2 ride. I've done a few where it's been kind of chill. And I've done some with some very elite racers and you get destroyed, which it's what makes it fun. And I think that's why this is popular, because you never know what you're getting. Because, I think the last numbers I saw for Tour of Watopia, which was like 500,000 registered, that's an insane jump over years past from the information that's been released. So I was really skeptical about the 1 million subscribers Eric Min claimed, but if it's truthful about 500,000 people registering for Tour of Watopia, that's insane. And if I remember the numbers correctly, the year prior was like 130,000 had registered or completed it, which that's a massive jump. So hey, maybe we do have 1 million subscribers, or subscribers to Zwift, which kind of caught me off guard. I was really skeptical, to be honest with you. All right, so here I'm kind of warmed up now because I only jumped on the bike maybe 5 minutes before it started. So I was using this as a warm up because I knew Jarvis Island was going to be where things were going to happen. And this direction, actually both sides, but this one, you've got a steep punch. So as long as you kind of within some wheels here, you still have some draft. And then this is the part right here where you really got to do some effort because that steep pitch, you can't get a gap. And now I don't have to do, coming through there, you can kind of surf the wheels. You don't have to go crazy. But right here, there was a gap in front of me, so I did have to continue working over that. So at this point, I've got 3-4 guys with me. I think I'm not going to even know how to say his name, Zedjowski. Zedjowski. Regardless, he makes it up to us. So we got 4 with us. I'm like, all right, this is the selection. These are the guys that we're going to go to the finish with. And as we all get together here, I've done a lot of work. I want to win the group ride. So I take a pull and I kind of sit back, see what everyone else is going to do, because they're only 11 seconds behind. As the leaderboard updates here, you're going to see you have a group of say 10, one at 18, and 130 or so, something along that lines. And they're close enough, we have long enough to go that if we don't work, we're going to get caught. And as you see by my graph, I've done a fair amount of work to get to this point. And coming up here, I wanted to show you. So Coggins is going on the front. He's going about 4 watts per kilogram. And I'm going to test them on this dirt climb, leaving this little Italian villa area. This is something that you can use. And you can use this in all your races. If you're going into a section like this, you can draw it back just a touch, because the hard part's coming with the gravel section or dirt section. So and some people may think, hey, he's just surging a little bit of power to catch up to, close that gap. Well, I closed the gap and I kept the power on. So that's a little trick you could use. You could basically just use the draft to come through, but you don't want to light it up, because then obviously they're going to realize, oh man, he's going. So it's just a little smooth come together, because basically it's just a counter attack. He didn't attack, he was just taking a pull. And then you roll through. Once you get to right in front of him, where he'll kind of ease off, then you can pick up the power and hit your climb, like basically like what I did here. So Mickey Mouse and Coggins, both they respond. Mickey just, even though he's doing 6 watts per kilogram, I'm not sure if it was just the initial surge that he didn't match enough to catch our draft. So here we go. We got Coggins and me. And I'm thinking, all right, we'll work together, get to the finish. Because right now we got about 20 seconds on a group of 2, and then 30, and then 45. So we got a pretty decent gap, but we still have 20K. So I can't take this pace clear to the finish. So I'm looking for some help. Because it's been a few minutes here, probably about, I don't know, 7-8 minutes of doing some decent effort. And in this race, by live action, you're going to see I get frustrated because as soon as a couple of times I've noticed I slow down, Coggins just pulls right back. He covered that move, and if I check his heart rate here, because I'm like, if he's struggling, if he's up in the 170s or something, or high 160s, yeah, he's working, no big deal. But I started noticing Coggins would just hold my wheel. He would cover any move, but not take a pull, which started frustrating me here. This was why I looked at his heart rate, because it's fine. Hey, you're struggling, you're at your limit. But 140 heart rate, most people have a little bit of left in them to take a pull, but it's all right. So I do a little effort. He covers it. We're back together. We got 27 seconds on the one group and 50 seconds on the other. So I'm feeling relatively comfortable going into this. I know it's mostly flat coming across the desert. You basically got the one bump right here, and then climbing up to Watts Vegas, and you're off to the finish because it's in downtown. So we don't have anything major in our way that we're going to lose a whole lot of time from being tired from doing this effort, as long as we can maintain a decent pace. And, hopefully, I'm hoping at this point that I'm going to get at least a little bit of help from Coggins. And you can notice I slow down, and basically he puts up the brakes too. And most of the time, in situations like this, I will help, especially if I'm in a race and I make a break or make the commitment to get across to the break. I will help. And that's kind of like my thought process here is like, hey, you obviously have the common goal of making it to the finish, so let's work together. That's kind of like my thought. But if Coggins is treating us just as a straight race that he wants to win, then not taking a pull, I mean, that's kind of what you do. I've said it before on my kind of race breakdowns, you do the work necessary to stay with the leaders. Like the last video that I've had with taking on Kevin Bouchard Hall and Adam Zimmerman, I couldn't do anything with that. So yes, all I was doing was just covering every single move and hitting when they did. I knew I wasn't in the position to actually make a move. So that's a little bit of a different situation because we were all 10 or whatever, 12 racers together. We didn't have a breakaway like this. So in the breakaway situation, that's where you kind of want to work with your breakaway partner unless you are flat out in the limit. But I don't know. Maybe Coggins has a low heart rate, so it's deceiving when you look at 148 because, that's kind of like in my upper zone 2 heart rate range. And you see, I did an attack, or I'm going to do an attack here in a second, and it's covered perfectly. So this is where the frustration builds. It's like, okay, you want to come along and cover these moves, but not help with beating the pack. So we have 35 seconds right here on one group, and then 48 on the other. So basically we got 40-second lead, and you'll notice, and this is where racing, in that chase group, never give up. You always keep going, because I am tired, I'm a little frustrated, and I do want some help here. So this is where the little games come in that can lose a breakaway. And this is why I was frustrated, because we did have a massive gap, and it was basically all me doing this work. In Coggins, if he's racing this, it's not dumb. In SRC, one race, it was we went to the finish with 3 people, and one guy, he was racing and not doing effort. He was putting the work on the other 2 for his best finish. So I get it, I understand, but in the moment, this really irked me. But hey, it's all good fun. This was a great workout for me, and a lot of fun. So here we have 40 seconds. So we were up to 44. Now we're at 40 seconds. We have 4.5K to go. And we start, Coggins and I, like, I'm at the point now to where, like, all right, I'm going to have to sprint and all this work. I really got to kind of conserve some energy. So with me slowing down, you could see how the group behind us, the chase group, has picked up their pace a little bit. Like, they are closing huge. It was what, 2Ks? We lost about 15 seconds. So this is where I noticed that, and I'm like, all right, I don't care right now. If I want to place and potentially win this, I gotta do the work. I can't worry about Coggins. I gotta just recover enough and hopefully get through. And they're still closing this gap. So we're down to 2K, and they're 20 seconds back. And in which they've made up a huge amount of ground. So they are definitely working. And that's in this situation. If you were in this situation, any of your races, that's what you got to pay attention to. Like, not just who you're racing at the front. Like, there will be people that can close gaps like those guys are behind us if the front just is a little bit lax. And I didn't record it because I was doing it at 3 in the morning, but I had a race that was that same exact way. I got dropped on the hilly KOM, and I actually came back and won the race because they set up at the top, and I just kept at the pace. So I see 7 seconds, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, I just want to not get caught after doing all that. And Coggins here in a second ramps up his sprint, which I know I'm leading him out by my steady power here. I didn't punch at all, and it was flat out because I saw you and I'm just going to call him Ski coming at me. So Coggins sprint, and it was actually the sprint we did in the Oasis, me and him both, was our highest numbers because he was pretty tired as well. But we almost got caught here. Like, I just coasted the finish and was just half a second ahead of the guys who were chasing. So it was a very fun race. I got a little frustrated with not getting any help coming across there, but hey, Coggins was racing, I was racing. It's a smart play by him. Frustrating, but smart play. And this also shows, you know, if you are in that chase group, that working together, because those 2 came across, like, they caught 20 seconds in 2 kilometers basically. Working together like that in, you know, not giving up, that's they almost came back and got us. They caught us. If I hadn't kind of been paying attention to what they've been catching us with, we may have messed around and they caught us before that and ultimately beat us. But that was a fun little workout here. I do enjoy the mass start races when you get a big number of participants like that, because you don't know what you're getting. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it'll work for all races and everything, you know, especially like if you're doing the like late evening American East and West, like at the 9 p.m. range, things get pretty slim. I don't know if mass start will work in that, but in situations like Tour of Watopia, they definitely work well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, even though it was frustrating, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good race. Coggins executed a perfect race, and those guys chasing, excellent job. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next one.